Welcome to the Prescott Home Value Report through August 2025. Brought to you by the Prescott Pickle Lady, Diane Bro Realtor. As you could probably tell, I am not the Pickle Lady. That's me in the bottom right-hand corner. My name's Randall, and the Pickle Lady has authorized me to show you the following slides, starting as always with median sales price per square foot in the city of Prescott. So each one of these dots represents the median sales price per square foot in that month. The red dot, the red line, the red dots are from the current year, and the blue are from last year. This has been kind of, sometimes red gets ahead, sometimes it gets behind. Last week it was just a smidge behind. But this month we are 4 percentage points out ahead of last year at this time. I don't think that means a whole lot. As you can see, these are two like little stones. They're like dancing with one another. We just happen to be ahead this month. If that persists, then we'll talk about it. But so far, it just hasn't. It's just kind of been flat and been that way for actually a couple of years now. Looking now at transaction volume, each one of these dots represents the number of deals that closed that month. Last month we had a huge spike, and I was kind of thinking, well, what's going to happen? It came down a little bit, but we're still well ahead of where we were in August of last year. Transaction volume is picking up. It's picked up significantly in July, and we're still persisting in staying ahead by a significant margin. I think that's great. So is it a buyer's market, seller's market? What kind of market is it? The way that we answer that question is with our pending ratio analysis. And the way that works is when we ran these numbers, 801 homes were available in Prescott. Of those, 147 of them were pending. 147 is 18% of 801. So our pending ratio is 18%. If you look up 18% in our handy dandy color chart here, you'll see that that falls in the range of what would be considered a strong buyer's market. Now, we've been in a strong buyer's market position for a while. Every now and then it kind of jumps up to a buyer's market, and then it just kind of comes back down again. 18 is kind of right on the cusp, and so it's been that way for a while now. If you break that out by price point, you get a chart that looks something like this. All right, so we down at the bottom, we have all the different price points. Let's start with the blue bars. The blue bars are the number of homes that sold. So as you can see, we've got a lot of homes, 1.2 million and above. I might have to extend that out. That's a big column. But, you know, there are a lot of homes at the upper ends now. So we saw over 150 of them this month. Wow. As you can see, when you get kind of in this area, you get fewer and fewer, kind of a normal curve. The red dots, that is the pending ratio for homes in that price point. And generally what you see is this downward facing curve here. Typically, the lower priced homes tend to be more of a seller's market. Higher price homes tend to be more of a buyer's market. But Prescott's been weird. So we kind of see that until you get to the 800s, and then it starts going up in the other direction. So that the least competitive, or the closest to balanced, shall we say, are the very high price points. So there you go. Got some demand up at the highest end of our pricing. How long does it take for a home to sell in Prescott? Answer is 5.2 months. You put it under contract, takes about 5.2 months. A listing contract takes about 5.2 months to go under contract with a buyer. And typically escrows are about 30 days. They were 35. So from the time that you put your house up until you close is a 6.4 months. Turning now to Prescott Valley, this looks like almost the same chart. We are also 4% over last year in Prescott Valley, looking at the median sales price per square foot. Now, Prescott Valley has been topping out last year for the last several months, not by much, just kind of skating on the top of that pond. But we've expanded it a little bit, so we're looking at 4%. So that is a good trend. Looking now at transaction volume, we had a bit of a spike in August, so that we are ahead of last year. That is the first time since, well, before March. As you see, we've been kind of behind the curve there, the last year's transaction volume. But August, we popped ahead, so that's a good thing. It is also a strong buyer's market in Prescott Valley. There were 385 homes in inventory when we ran these numbers, 47 of which were pending. That is 12%. That's actually almost an extreme market in Prescott Valley for the month of August. Breaking that out by price point, as we did before, same sort of thing. I wouldn't really worry too much about million, million one, million two. These are very small numbers, so who knows what's going on over there. And you kind of see the classic, declining curve to the right. Although similarly, instead of the 800s, it gets to the 600s and then becomes less so. But those aren't huge differences, and these volumes are a little bit lower than they are in the lower price points. So there you go. How long does it take for a home to sell in Prescott Valley? 4 months, 4.0 months, and escrows are running really fast. Oh my God, 17 days. So those were turning around really, really fast. So about 4.5 months from the time you put your house up until it closes. So here are the highlights. Median price per square foot in Prescott is $339. That is 1% higher than last month and 4% higher than last year. In Prescott Valley, that number is $297, which is kind of even for last month, 4% over last year. Turning now to volume, we're at 126, which is about 9% lower than last month. Last month was huge, but we're still 14% higher than last year. In Prescott Valley, we are a 31% change in transaction volume, which is 11% higher than last year. Inventories now, we are getting close to where we were. Let's see. That's almost dead even. Yeah, I would say about 1,200 before COVID was the typical number in inventory between Prescott and Prescott Valley, and we're just shy of that. We did have small increases in inventory from last month, 2% in both Prescott and Prescott Valley. And in months to contract, we're looking at 5.2 months to contract for Prescott, 4 months for Prescott Valley. That's even in Prescott from last month, and 1.4 months less, so about a month and a half less than last month in Prescott Valley.
Look, if you like this kind of stuff, we got lots more for you in the Prescott Home Value Report. This is just a summary. We go into specific subdivisions and just a whole bunch of stuff. So lots of slicing and dicing. So I would encourage you to download that report and get it in full. We update this report every month, but it is not the only report we do. We also have what we call the Appraiser's Eye View, which is the last 6 months of the latest comps. And it's broken out by subdivision. In fact, Prescott Lakes, we break it out by neighborhood. So it's very, very detailed. This is an example of what you'll see in the chart. This would be a subdivision. It's sorted by price per square foot, the number of months that it took the home to sell, square footage, the year it was built, how many stories, how many acres, and whether the listing agent is reporting the home having a view or not. Using this, you can look at all the different comps that occurred You can see the average down here. So using this, it's a really good tool to figure out what you should be paying for a home, or where you might want to price a home that you are selling. So a really cool tool. We even have a video which goes through how to use this information to come up with value estimates for homes.
We do a whole lot of tools like this, all of them really very cool for both buyers and sellers. And one thing I should point out is you can't get these from any place else. These are exclusive. You can only get them from the Prescott Pickle Lady.
And all of this is part of our page. We call it Prescott by the Numbers, or more commonly the Pickle page. So if you're on the Pickle page, you know the Pickle page. But if you're not the Pickle page, well, you should get to the Pickle page. And you do that by subscribing. We update it every month. If you subscribe, we will send you a monthly email update with the link so you can go download all the reports that you want. Even if you're not all that interested in getting every single month, just having access to these tools will give you a real leg up when it comes to the real estate game. I hope you found this informative and maybe slightly entertaining, and we look forward to seeing you next month.
Please take a moment to look below and find the button that'll take you to the Pickle page. We'll see you there.